What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the John Doc YouTube channel. As you guys can tell by the title and the thumbnail of this video, we're heading back up to TKM, one of my favorite places to be, and check out what we got going on with a couple different blocks up there. We got an RHS up there that's getting put together. We got the world record 5.3 block, stock block. The block is stock. Going together, and then I think we have one that we're picking up. So Texas Speed hooked it up. I'm going to be running Texas Speed heads on there. I got a set of Texas Speed heads for the RHS block as well. So we're going to run 2 sets of Texas Speed Cathedral Port style heads, and then Texas Speed hooking up with a crankshaft here. So this crankshaft is going to be for the world record 5.3 block. Pretty basic. Hold on, let me open this all up here. Pretty basic standard shelf item at Texas Speed. This is the Cali's Dragon Slayer crankshaft. It is a bad to the bone crankshaft. It's high dollar, and it will hopefully allow the engine and the setup to live for quite some time, make quite a bit of power, and go quite fast. So this is the last piece of the puzzle. Rod should be up at TKM today. Piston should be coming in shortly. Then it's time to assemble the short block. Well, maybe the long block too, because we'll have the heads up there. But today I do want to kind of talk about this top fuel hooping, because everyone's like, oh, they've been doing receiver grooves and all that stuff for years now, and you don't know what you're talking about and all that. Well, this is a little bit different. So we're gonna get up there, let the experts talk about it, and drop some knowledge on you guys, and show you guys how the stock 5.3 is going to take 60 pounds of boost. Alright guys, just got up here at TKM, so let's go inside. I've already been there checking some stuff out. We got some new Hemi parts in, so we'll show you guys that, and then we're going to talk about this badass top fuel hoop. We're repairing some heads there. Oh, are you doing what we were talking about last time? Repairing some heads? God, you're telling me that is going to look like all the other ones? Wow. Wow, that is badass. Right now it looks like crap. Alright, I'll let you get back to doing your thing. If we go over here, we got some Hemi stuff. Yeah, Hemi time! Oh, everyone's been so scared since we brought the LS and the G body. I think the Hemi's gone forever, but
he's working on the Hemi right now. Look at it.
That's Kevin, actually. That's how you build them, right? Right there.
Oh, would you look at that?
So the new pistons.
Look at the rod.
And look at the rod. Hold on. Good night.
Hey.
Oh my god. It's kind of a shame that you have to put all this stuff in the motor.
The Hemi's coming back to life.
Yeah. God, that is badass.
Hashtag only waiting on parts.
Yeah, that's no parts. We're waiting on sleeves, right? That's the last thing. Because, well, we actually are going from a different size back to like a standard size. Okay, so
it was actually cheaper to get standard size pistons and put all new sleeves in the block.
Because it needed some sleeves, right?
You needed 4, so we'll just change all 8 and get a piston that's way easier to get.
Is the worst part about these kind of waiting on stuff, because everything's like either comes off of like a nitro car or you got to order it custom?
Exactly. Well, if you're waiting on TKM, it's because of parts, not machine work.
Would you just look at the size? Would you just look at it?
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah. Is this guaranteed to get me in the 5.0s? So we want to have the baddest 5.0 car around.
5.0s and at least 50,000 miles.
Well, that is pretty slick. So the Hemi stuff is coming together here. What other? We got the 5.3, which
picking up the teal motor.
A teal motor is coming back. The crankshaft for the 5.3 is here, and then those rods actually are like just the big daddy versions of what we've been putting in motors now, because those are GRP rods, and then we got the MGP LS series rods. So just size really is the only difference.
Yeah, you just got all the sleeves knocked out of it, because you had 4 bad sleeves.
We had 4 bad sleeves,
and it was cheaper for you guys to let's just do 8 sleeves and get a piston that's way easier to get a hold of instead of some custom deal.
Yep.
What y'all are wanting.
And I was telling the people that like this thing probably only made like 1,000 or 1,500 horsepower. It was so like the valves would float at like 30 pounds of boost.
Right.
And
it had no spring pressure. It was just I guess you would say bad setup.
She was tired.
She was tired.
So hopefully it makes a little bit more horsepower. I have no doubt it'll make more horsepower when we get it back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I know we're already talking about doing turbos instead of a blower. So we'll see what happens here, but
She'll definitely need the hub dyno.
yes.
So we can finish setting this up, line hone it. Your crank has actually just been balanced. And we didn't have to add no heavy metal. And then right
Yeah.
here, this is it.
Baddest 5.3 in the world.
Correct. Baddest in the world.
Stock block. The most, maybe the most controversial topic of 2019, but the block, in fact, is stock. As you can see here, it doesn't say RHS or anything like that. It is stock.
And then I honed it already. Look at that cross hatch for
Oh,
days,
look at
baby.
that.
Oh yeah.
Look at. What, did you just look at it? God, that's nice.
So you brought your crank.
I brought the crank, yep.
Set bearing clearances
And then rods
on the way.
are on the way. Should be here either today or tomorrow.
And I'm pretty sure the pistons are on the way also.
Wait.
So you know, no diesel here today.
Stop it.
Shelby, 5.8.
Look at this.
This is a Farlow's. This is a motor. Farlow's actually picked this up.
Oh, Farlow picked it. He got, you know what happened? He cracked the sleeve himself because he's scared with what we're doing.
This is a we decked it. We put sleeves in at top heel hoop. And check this out. 9/16.
Oh my
It's,
God. What?
9/16. All the boost.
They make them that big? I thought that's what they use on like bridges to hold them together.
Actually, this is a big block Ford
Wow.
size. We can.
Now, is that a mod motor still?
Yep.
Like mod motors have super heavy heads, so they seem to clamp pretty well to begin with.
Right, they do clamp really well. These guys here, and also with Farlow and Gold's block, they're gonna be fast.
Wow.
So they're also 9/16.
But we got Farlow covered, don't you think? We got him covered on every angle.
I ain't allowed to say.
Just tell him. Look right into the camera and tell him he's in trouble. I tell him every time I talk to him. That is pretty slick.
Just so you know, we honed something other than diesel.
I know, it's like every time. I thought that was it. All right, guys, so class is in session. This is what the video is about. We're talking about the difference between a top fuel hoop, an O-ring, a receiver groove, what Pa's got on his motor, which you guys think they're all the same. They are not the same. So we're bringing in the expert here. We got Kevin with us, as you can see on the shirt here, the Kevin Mullins. That's what TCAM stands for, right? The Kevin Mullins. You're the boss man around here. So
I do it all.
So you were just telling me a little bit of the backstory and how you got into doing the top fuel hoop and kind of what it is, and we're going to go and explain the difference because I saw a bunch of comments. Everyone was saying the top fuel hoop is the same thing as an O-ring, the same thing as a fire ring on a diesel, and it's not. This is completely different, and this is, I'd say this paired with a 1/2 inch stud is going to be the reason why we're going to run so much boost on my poor little stock block.
Yeah, I mean, you got so much. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to interlock. We're going to have this hoop, which, as you can see, the difference here of really how thick the difference of the hoop versus the wire is. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So basically, this guy here, you know, we can hang it out 2 to 3 times as much as this little wire here out of the deck surface. That way, you know, you just go and clamp the gasket that much harder.
So this is your standard, when people think of receiver groove and O-ring, you cut a groove in the block, you put that in there.
Yeah, so this, generally speaking, this is a 041 wire. Pretty standard. Machine shops all around the country use this stuff. It works good. It's got its place, don't get me wrong. But over the years, when guys push and push and push, more boost, more power, I mean, it won't hold for so much. So
Is the name of the game is keeping the cylinder pressure in the cylinder. That's it. So everyone runs into an issue. I know the LS stuff. Now this isn't LS cylinder head. This is actually Brett's head. I could say I know for a fact. I run the stuff with no O-ring standard studs. 20 pounds of boost, you run into an issue where you're pushing water. You got to change head gaskets all the time. So before that was the answer. The receiver groove and O-ring.
Yeah. So we used to run this stuff all the time, and you know, back when this is pretty much all you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to run a lot of Hemi stuff, and we was like, well, hell, we need to take that Hemi technology and put it in this. No, we didn't invent the hoop, but we sort of trended toward a lot of people. We're pushing now, everybody's pushing these small blocks and even the conventional big block Chevrolets to extreme power levels, so you got to hold a head gasket. Well, this wire here Again, it works good for a certain amount of power level, but once you get the push on it don't. And it's pretty simple. Here's why. This head gasket, this actually come off a motor that got shipped here for us to fix. It's pretty much, as you can see the trace of the O-ring wire, right? So if you flip it over to this side, man,
there's nothing.
You really can't even see nothing about it. Now, this gasket here is off of a LS motor, and you can see how deep the grooves is from where the hoop has smashed in and basically interlocked in, you know, as far as the hoop down in the deck of the head. You can see how far out this is hanging. And that is why you're able to clamp so much cylinder pressure. I believe that even with a casting that's, you know, say not such a thick a deck, I believe that the hoops is actually insurance for that, because theoretically speaking, this guy could actually lift up a little bit, and hell, as much as this thing's clamping, I don't even know that it would still blow through. But you know, that's neither here or there. But with that being said, you can just see physically the difference between an O-ring wire and a hoop. I mean, it's like
that is, now this is the back side, so this is not where it went into. It went in the other side.
Yeah, so this would be the head, this would be the deck side, right? It's going to push this hoop. It don't fit this groove, but this hoop is going to push down through and interlock into the deck. Let's go over here to this block. I'll show you more what we're talking about. So this block here, someone has done your traditional 041 wire in this thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it worked good to a certain extent. But as you can see here in between the cylinders, it's already blackened up. It ain't sealing right. Well, if you look at the head gasket, well, it's you know what I'm saying, there's hardly any crimp here. How can it seal? Whereas the top fuel hoop deck, we've cut down a whole lot deeper, and we'll go back to Brent's head and look at it and how much more the hoop is going to clamp and mash into that guy, and it's certainly going to make to where it'll hold horsepower.
So it's like a combination where you have the hoop, you run the copper head gasket, which is I guess a little more malleable, where you can bend it and it'll really get like the best seal that it can.
Yeah, you're gonna like, when you take this head gasket off, you're gonna literally have to take a screwdriver here and pry it out of the block.
I mean, it's in there.
When you pull the head off, the head gasket's going to stay, and then you're going to have to grab a screwdriver and pry the gasket out, because it's going to have this guy mashed so hard down in here, it's going to seal up, guaranteed.
So I'm like a rookie out there with my multi-layers trying to run all the boost. I just gotta. That's why I smell like rotten eggs when I go everywhere.
The multi-layer works good. Even the O-ring works good to a certain extent, but when you're really trying to push issues, you really want to hold a head gasket, I mean, that's the difference between the hoops. It's all about clamp and engagement, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see the difference. There's come back over here, Steve. We say it time and time again in a wire, and we do this in certain motors. Like I said, this works good. There's nothing wrong with it, except when you're really trying to push the envelope. No matter who puts this in, whether we do it or some other shop that's the baddest in the world, I don't care how you put this in, there's going to be a gap, there's going to be a butt. That means cylinder pressure can go through, no matter how good you do it. This here,
no, it's not going out anywhere.
No butt.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I'll get it with the camera, but I mean, just the difference in size.
Well, this thing, I mean, there's no comparison to the difference of the amount of clamp here.
Yeah.
In the diesel world, they do, a lot of guys call them fire rings and things of that nature, and we actually do machine work for some of them as well.
This is not a fire ring, though. So all the diesel guys are like, oh, you're just firing in the block. Similar concept, different application.
Very similar concept, there's just different ways to do it. Diesel stuff, they don't always use a receiver. It's a little different world. It works, but this is obviously totally different. Like I said, this in the drag racing world, shops, 9 out of 10 shops can do this service. A few can do this service.
Now, one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is you're cutting a groove in the head, you're cutting a groove in the block, you're putting the hoop itself in the head. It has to line up perfect. If it doesn't line up...
That's exactly right. So we get guys all the time, man, damn, you know, we had this local machine shop put these hoops in my head, and damn, you know, they're leaking water now or whatever. So chances are their hoop, when they go to put the head on, is misaligned with the block.
And you don't have much adjustment. I mean, they have dowels and all the head bolts and everything has to line up. So when you cut the groove in there, it has to be spot on.
Oh yeah. Well, see, any motor, you got a datum point. Datum point is, in this case, your head dowels. Well, so the distance between the center of this cylinder and these guys all lines up. With that being said, it's all blueprinted off the CNC mill from the block to the head. That's why we're able to do it with pretty dang good success. Whereas other guys, if they don't have the equipment to do it, I mean, you can't do it.
Now, one thing that I thought was crazy is, let's say my block is already, I've been running my block and I want to go to a different set of heads. I could bring you that set of heads. It's not like it's married one to another.
No, the hoops we do is primarily done off of board space. So if you do these set of heads now and this is your set of heads, and you scrap these, hey, I want to put a mast head on it next week, it's no problem. We can certainly do the same thing to that. And we don't have to redo the block. All we got to do is fix your hoops in your new heads, and you'll be able to put it on and be fine.
So you don't recommend I get the little angle grinder out at the shop and start carving away?
Well, you could, but you're going to
I'll have to bring it up here.
You're going to spend that much more money for us to fix it after.
All right, so this is the reason why you're comfortable saying, hey, we got this block and we're going to try to shove literally as much boost as we can in it, because the first thing to give is, I guess, the seal, and you're going to be leaking cylinder pressure, blowing head gaskets, where we're going to do, the top fuel hoops, a 1/2 inch stud, the ultimate clamp, and we're going to give it the best shot and see what we can do.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've done guys race for a long time, dirt stuff, and we converted them to hoops, and like one guy literally said, man, damn. He said, I done something wrong with my boost control, and this thing made 56 pounds of boost, and hell, we ain't got no problem, we're good. And he said, man, just a true testament of what these hoops can do.
So hopefully this will clear the waters where people are like, oh, my uncle Dave in his garage, he did a receiver groove on his 305 small block. Not quite the same thing as the true, we'll call it the TKM top fuel hoop, because that's what it is.
I mean, it's right here. I mean, it's black and white. It's pretty much no comparison to the two technologies.
And you don't just do this to LS. I mean, you have a 370Z motor over there that you done it to.
Anybody that's making huge power, like I said, whether it's a LS, 370Z, it don't matter. We can do hoop about anything, really.
Did you hoop Cornbread's motorcycle, his dirt bike motor?
We could, yeah.
You don't want to hurt, that'll be too much power for him though, right? Well, that is awesome, because I don't think a lot of people understand. I hope the camera does it justice, just to how, I mean, if you think about it, when you're putting a motor together, the deck has to be perfectly flat, the head has to be perfectly flat, and then you go out there and you cut a groove and you stick something in there to stick out on purpose and line up perfect. I mean, getting it to actually work and be functional is like an act of God almost.
Yeah, that's the trick. You got to actually line your receiver on your block to match the hoop in the head. If not, you'll be misaligned, you'll be pissing water out of it, it'll just be a bad problem.
Well, that's crazy. And you guys, like I said, the one-stop shop, bring your motor here. I couldn't tell you. I mean, we brought like 6 or 7 motors up here where I drop them off and then you're like, oh, here you go, it's all done. Where you guys do everything, you machine it, top fuel hoop. Now you've done this for us. You've done stock heads, you've done aftermarket heads, the Hemi heads, literally everything we got.
I mean, we can do, like I said, any motor. We do a ton of the small block Ford, Chevrolet, big block. We do them all.
And this is the key here, making horsepower and keeping it sealed up. Now, what I said, you did a small block Ford, made 2200 on the hub dyno, and that was sporting the top fuel hoops. That is crazy. So I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What are we gonna make horsepower on the world record 5.3?
5,000.
5,000 horsepower. 5,000. Oh my God. Do I need to start shopping for a new block already?
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. At 5,000 horsepower.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait. Is there anything else you know about the top fuel hoops? Anything that you know that people get confused on or anything like that?
Not really, other than people just really need to understand the difference of just the regular traditional wire and the hoop itself. I'm not going to go into specifics on educating people how to put them in or how to do it. That's just kind of...
Well, that's why you can't give away all your secrets.
I ain't going to do that. But, it don't take a rocket scientist, an engine builder, or anybody to see the difference of what we're talking about here. It's just black and white. This wire here, like I said, it's got its purpose. It's good, but when you're trying to push these things over the top, there's no comparison.
Well, that's crazy. So, thank you for your time. I had to pull the boss man away. Busy here, as you can tell. Everyone's over here working. You know, you've been escaping me. I got you at the track last time. I got you on camera now. Now I'm gonna be following you around everywhere. So now you're gonna be you do tuning here as well. I've mentioned a bunch of times. You got the hub dyno here. You got chassis dyno. I see you at the track like literally every time. You might be the only person that goes to the track more than I do.
I go quite a bit, you know, anytime someone wants some help, I'm going to help them out.
So you do tuning at the track. I see you do a little driving here and there. I don't want to hand you the keys over to the cow or anything, so it might be a little much for you.
Oh,
but let me ask you this: what's the fastest you've been? What's your personal best ET in mile an hour?
380. That was when we was fast. Now 350s is fast. We're coming back though.
Well, I'm coming for you. I'm telling you. Give me a year or two, 380s. I got you covered.
All right, that'll work.
All right, well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Anyone needs anything, TKM, there are links in the description below. Top Fuel Hoops. And you can drive them around the street. This doesn't make it a race car.
No, absolutely not. We got guys like drag hoop cars, whatever, that do this deal here. And they ask me this all the time, hey, can I do it with a street car? Absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We even do coyotes. I mean, we got several coyotes that's out here. I don't know if I got one that you can see, but we do coyotes with the Top Fuel Hoops. And I mean, them one motors making 2,000 horsepower is crazy. And
wow, that's a lot.
We literally had one on drag week this past week. He had some other issues with some other things, but the hoops definitely was not a problem, and you know, driving it, you know, no problem.
That is crazy. There it is, guys. That's what you need to know. The Top Fuel Hoops, they're no joke. You can run them on your street car. It is the next level of performance for making horsepower and holding the head down, making boost. Check out the guys here at TKM, and that's pretty much it. So links in the description below for merchandise. You're gonna see a lot more up here at TKM. Kevin's gonna be doing tuning on the car. We're gonna get over to Sammy when he starts putting the motor together. We got a bunch of stuff coming back from here that are gonna be going into cars. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you learned something today. And tell Pa that he doesn't have the same stuff in his motor that he built in his garage as it's getting done up here. So we'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.